No one can keep a secret forever. When Tim and Stacy Wicks first moved to town, everyone thought they were a normal couple.
He's just a transplant with his wife, living a fairly normal life.
Who knew they had so much to hide?
Some of the strangest, most scary secrets anybody could ever imagine.
I didn't know what they were capable of, so my wife and I fled for our lives.
A couple tries to outrun their secrets.
People can hide under that facade, but eventually somebody is going to know what happened.
The truth you can keep straight all the time. Lies you can't.
I need you to trust me.
But there are some secrets no one can escape.
Sometimes secrets are innocent, sometimes secrets are terrifying, and sometimes they can end in death.
Soon, every dirty little secret will be revealed. It's 2001, and Tim Wicks and his wife Stacy have recently moved to Gardner, North Dakota, a small town outside Fargo.
Gardner, North Dakota is a very small community. I think about 70 to 85 people, kind of a bedroom community. Fairly quiet. The biggest thing that happens around Gardner is speeding trucks.
Everybody believes it to be a safe community. People would probably laugh at the crime rate here.
I say, my parents have this place up north. Let's go skiing.
Tim's outgoing personality helps him quickly make friends.
He loved music, and he was really a good storyteller, make people laugh.
No, I swear, it's true.
Everybody that ever met him just liked him. Very, very personal. Just a really nice guy, makes friends, blink of an eye.
That natural charm also helps him land a good accounting job.
His bosses were so happy to have him.
Looks good, whiz kid.
He had some bookkeeping experience. They loved him and signed him up right away.
The owners of the company really liked him. They really became friends.
When Tim's not at work, he and Stacy are inseparable.
When the two of them met, she had been through a series of some pretty rotten relationships. He kind of took care of her the way that no man in her life previously had. Basically, swept her off her feet.
So far, life in Gardner seems to be everything the Wickses have been dreaming of. But their new life is about to unravel, revealing secrets that reach far beyond this tiny town. Just after New Year's 2002, Tim misses a few days of work.
Hey, Tim, would you call us at work as soon as you get this message?
Repeated calls from his bosses go unanswered, and messages go unreturned. It's as if Tim's just vanished.
He'd been a great and reliable employee, and so they could not figure out why he wouldn't be showing up.
We're all a little bit worried about you, okay?
Something had to be wrong.
Why is he gone? Why is he not called in? They were wondering if something happened to Tim, something happened to his wife.
I'd like to report a missing person.
Tim's boss reports the disappearance to the local sheriff's department.
This is very unusual.
A deputy is sent to the Wickses' home to investigate.
Hello? Just to check the house, kind of a welfare check to make sure everything was all right.
Hello, is anyone home?
But the deputy did not find anybody in the home.
It just looked normal. There was food in the refrigerator, there was shoes near the door, nothing unusual. Just looked like there wasn't anybody home.
There is one sign that something might be amiss. A pile of mail has built up in the mailbox. By its size, no one's been home for at least a week. Then again, there could be a simple explanation.
It was the holidays. It's Christmas time, it's New Year's, and people travel. They're not originally from this area. And so if they'd gone back to see family, that wouldn't be unusual at all.
At that time, we had no reason to believe that there was a problem.
But if this is just a case of holiday travel delays, why wouldn't Tim call in to work? When his boss tries to get into Tim's accounting files, he makes a troubling discovery that might reveal the answer.
When they try to log into the computers, they can't get in because all the passwords have been changed.
Why would Tim have changed all the accounting passwords? When his boss starts digging into bank records, he uncovers a shocking secret about the man he trusted to help run his business. Instead of keeping the books, it seems Tim has been cooking them.
They found that the paychecks that he was issuing to himself were for more money than he should have been paid.
He also was stealing money from petty cash. And so he was pretty much robbing the company blind. This entire time that he was building this friendship with them and gaining their trust, he was ripping them off. And they were just totally oblivious to it.
Thousands of dollars have gone missing. And Tim's boss suspects that this is the reason Tim has suddenly vanished too.
In almost every embezzlement, it starts very small. They're seeing what they can get away with, and then it ends up to be a lot of money. Until finally, it's a very good reason to leave town.
Has Tim Wicks run off with thousands of dollars from the company coffers, never to return? Tim's boss goes to the police again, only this time to report him as a thief, not a missing person.
Now they're no longer concerned about their employee being missing. They're concerned about how much money he took with him when he went on the run.
Look at it. I don't even know how much.
Detective Tammy Link is tasked with tracking Tim down. She has to wonder why a man who just moved to town would rip off his new employer and disappear so quickly. Could Tim Wicks be a professional con artist who moves from state to state, fleecing unsuspecting businesses?
And if so, how many other places had he been? How many other jobs had he pretended to work at when actually he was pulling cons?
I did.
All of it?
Everything they had.
And is Stacy in on the plot too?
Was his wife in on it with him? It's totally not unusual for people to move from place to place to do cons and elude the authorities at every turn.
Just you calm.
It definitely happens.
Detective Link has a bunch of questions about Tim Wicks that need answering. But where should she start looking for answers when her suspect is nowhere to be found?
We don't get a lot of embezzlements in Fargo. Really, we were at a loss for how to proceed until we could get subpoenaed records or we could have a conversation with Tim Wicks.
But Detective Link is about to get the first shock in this case. With little else to go on, she takes a shot in the dark and calls his cell phone, hoping he'll pick up if he sees it isn't his boss's number.
This is Tim Wicks.
To her surprise, Tim answers.
You've been reported missing.
No, you've completely misunderstood the situation.
He says he and his wife are fine, but he won't ever be returning to work,
This has nothing to do with me.
and he's willing to explain why.
I had no idea what they were capable of. As soon as I uncovered it, we fled for our lives.
Tim reveals a secret,
Let me tell you what happened.
and police aren't sure who to believe.
A guy steals some money from his employer. Happens all the time. But it's about to get a lot more interesting and a lot more frightening.
Tim Wicks and his wife Stacy have vanished from Gardner, North Dakota. Detective Tammy Link believes it's because he embezzled thousands of dollars from work.
It becomes clear pretty fast that he's not just on holiday break visiting family, that there's a reason he's avoiding his employers.
So Detective Link is surprised when Tim, a presumed fugitive from the law, answers his cell phone.
This is Tim Wicks.
The missing man and his wife suddenly aren't missing anymore.
Mr. Wicks, this is Detective Link. You've been reported missing.
We just told him who we were and that we needed to talk to him about the allegations being made by his employer.
Your employer also says that there's some money missing. Do you know anything about this?
No, you've completely misunderstood the situation. Let me tell you what happened.
Shockingly, Tim Wicks says he would be happy to come into the police department and talk with her. He sounds almost happy that the police are calling.
Tim's happy to talk, he tells Detective Link, because he's the victim here.
I haven't committed any crime. I'd like to report a crime.
He didn't embezzle any money. The company has been cooking its books to avoid paying taxes. He was afraid his boss was going to try to set him up for the crime, so he took the evidence and went into hiding.
I was going over the books at my company and I discovered they haven't been paying their taxes for years. My wife and I were afraid for our safety. We picked up and left.
He claimed that he had proof of that and he was willing to meet with us and show us that they were the ones breaking the law, not him.
Detective Link tells Tim to come in the next afternoon and bring proof of his claim.
Yes, certainly. Tomorrow afternoon, we would love to come in.
See you then.
But before they're able to meet, she gets another phone call from someone more than 500 miles away.
This is Detective Link.
A call that's about to make the case even stranger. On the other end of the line is Detective Kent Schoonover in Hales Corners, Wisconsin. He's working a missing persons case of his own, and he could use some help.
In January of 2002, my office gets a call from some friends of a guy who just went missing. He's into drugs. He smokes a lot of marijuana. He drinks a lot. Very happy-go-lucky, easygoing, but very naive.
He wanted to be a musician. Music was what he wanted to do the most. That's what drove him.
His friends say the aspiring musician left town a couple of weeks ago.
And he told his friends that, hey, going to Canada. Got a gig playing drums at this place. They're gonna pay me $800 a week.
$800 a week? And I didn't know there was $800 in Canada. That's awesome.
Yes.
Here's on you.
But when weeks go by with no word from him, a worried friend goes to police.
I've never gone this long without being able to get a hold of him, and I just don't think that he'd disappear like this.
Detective Schoonover knows it's not unusual for eccentric musicians to hit the road for weeks at a time, but he wants to put his friend's mind at ease.
No foul play was suspected. It was just a guy who said he was leaving town and then hadn't called his friends. But the friends kept calling. They seemed really worried.
Detective Schoonover agrees to try to find the missing man.
Hello?
Yes, this is Detective Schoonover.
I figured that's gonna be the easiest thing. I'll call this bar, tell the bar owner, hey, have Tam call his buddies. You know, I thought it was gonna be easy.
But he was wrong.
What?
Got a hold of them, they had no clue what we were talking about.
Sorry, we don't have any live music here.
No musician from Wisconsin was recently booked to play there. Now Detective Schoonover is growing suspicious. From what friends have told him, his missing musician isn't someone who would lie to his buddies and skip town.
Tim would never just take off and leave just like that. I mean, he was a pretty stable person. He's not the kind of guy that would run off.
Detective Schoonover tells Detective Link he has only one other lead. The missing man was allegedly traveling with another musician named Dennis from Fargo, and he's hoping she might have some information on him.
And he's got this friend named Dennis who wanted to play some music with him. And I've never met him, and I don't know. I think whatever happened to him, it starts with Dennis.
All that is what has led Detective Schoonover to now call Fargo police and Detective Tammy Link.
He's looking for Dennis because he thinks that might be a way to find his missing man.
He may have been traveling with another musician from Fargo named Dennis. Do you know anything about him?
Dennis was supposed to be in the company of his missing person. Unfortunately, I knew nothing about anybody named Dennis.
I don't know any traveling musicians named Dennis.
It looks like Detective Schoonover has hit a dead end. But then, on a hunch, he asks another question, and it blows open both of their investigations. Has Detective Link possibly heard of his missing person?
I'm just about ready to hang up the phone, literally, and just take the receiver away from my ear, and all of a sudden I put it back and I say,
By the way, the fellow's name is Tim Wicks.
Tim Wicks? I just spoke to a Tim Wicks. He's not missing.
Detective Link is stunned. Detective Schoonover's missing man from Wisconsin has the same name as her alleged embezzler.
Didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, because Tim Wicks was here in Fargo. He was living here, he was working here, his family was here.
Detective Link tells Detective Schoonover that Tim Wicks hasn't disappeared. He's perfectly fine, except he's at the center of her fraud investigation.
I explained to him he's not missing at all. He's here in Fargo, and he's stealing from his employer. And we are in the process of investigating that.
He's under investigation for fraud.
Something doesn't make sense. So Detective Schoonover asks Detective Link to describe the Tim Wicks she's investigating. And then he gets the shock of a lifetime. The secret truth about Tim Wicks is something no one sees coming.
They knew something was going on here, but they didn't have the slightest idea just how complicated it was going to get.
Detectives more than 500 miles apart are each hunting a missing man named Tim Wicks. And their investigations are about to collide with unbelievable results. Detective Schoonover in Hales Corners, Wisconsin, asks Detective Link in Fargo, North Dakota, to describe the Tim Wicks she's looking for.
What does this fellow Tim Wicks look like?
My guy's 35-year-old business guy with a receding hairline.
Those physical characteristics don't match his missing Tim Wicks from Wisconsin at all.
My Tim Wicks, he's got a tattoo on his shoulder.
My guy has no tattoos.
The person that Detective Schoonover is describing as Timothy Wicks is most definitely not the Timothy Wicks living in Fargo, North Dakota.
He's like a pothead, maybe a few other drugs.
It's not him. He's white-collar guy. Goes to work every day. Something is definitely going on.
The detectives trade pictures of their missing Tims, and that confirms it. They're clearly not the same guy.
This is not Tim Wicks.
Zero chance. We are talking about two totally different people. And I could sense her reaction on the other side of the phone. She was as surprised as I was.
And yet, both detectives are convinced their cases must be connected.
It's really not likely that there are two men named Tim Wicks, one in Hales Corners, missing, maybe, and one in North Dakota involved in crime. The detectives knew that that didn't make sense. At this point, they were very confused.
And I'm going, okay, we have a problem.
Well, these guys have the same Social Security ID, and they have the same birthday.
This doesn't make sense.
We have to wonder, who is the real Tim Wicks?
Detective Link thinks she might be able to get to the bottom of this right away. The Tim Wicks from North Dakota is supposed to be coming in today to answer the charges of theft leveled against him by his boss.
Yes, tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, certainly. Tomorrow afternoon, we would love to come in.
Detective Link, even though all this is going on, still is fully expecting Timothy Wicks to come in for his interview about the embezzlement.
But as the afternoon passes, the accused embezzler never shows. And this time, when Detective Link calls him, he doesn't answer.
Hey, this is Tim Wicks. Leave a message.
Mr. Wicks, this is Detective Link. We spoke yesterday. You were supposed to come in and talk to us. Please do me a favor and give me a call back as soon as you get this message.
You can't help but to think it's very suspicious. Now the investigation has to take a turn, and we need to go about this differently.
Detective Link begins a manhunt for her Tim Wicks in North Dakota. Meanwhile, Detective Schoonover in Wisconsin starts wondering why none of the missing persons flyers for his Tim Wicks, the missing musician, has yielded any tips. If Tim's out there somewhere living his life, there should be a lead on him by now. But he hasn't been spotted anywhere. And that gives the detective a sinking feeling.
We started thinking things are not going to turn out the best here.
On a hunch, Detective Schoonover begins to search through reports of unidentified John Does. And he comes across something so bizarre, he almost can't believe it. A decapitated male body has been found across state lines.
Michigan's got this headless body that they don't have an ID on. And I look, I'm going like, what? Well, the body is in pieces. We have the torso, minus the head, minus the hands.
Could this be the missing musician?
I'm starting to think to myself, okay, this is probably a good shot here.
But the killer has made identifying the victim impossible.
You take off the head, and then you eliminate the dental records there. You eliminate the hands, you eliminate the fingerprints, and those are the two basic ways of identifying anybody.
There's no way for Detective Schoonover to confirm if this body is his missing Tim Wicks from Wisconsin. Weeks pass, and the hopes of solving the mystery of Tim Wicks start fading fast. But then Detective Schoonover catches a lucky break.
We found the head a couple of weeks later. The body parts were found almost 35 miles apart. It was pure luck that the two body parts were found. So we have the head and we have the torso.
Dental records confirm the missing musician from Wisconsin is the real Tim Wicks.
We had a positive ID on Tim, so now we know that Tim is dead.
Detective Schoonover's missing persons case is now officially a homicide. But this is clearly no typical murder.
It was grossly extreme to mutilate the body. Is an absolute psychopath who has thought very hard about what is going to be necessary to not get caught.
Who would want to murder Tim Wicks, the friendly musician who seemed to have no enemies?
The whole time that I knew him, he was never in any kind of trouble. He's never been a person that put himself in a situation where somebody would come after him. It was a shock.
And if Tim Wicks is lying dead in a morgue in Wisconsin, does that mean the man calling himself Tim Wicks in North Dakota has stolen his identity?
Clearly the person I'm looking to talk to is not the real Timothy Wicks. How does the person here know that person and have that person's information?
The only connection Tim Wicks seems to have had in North Dakota is Dennis, the mystery musician from Fargo with whom he supposedly left town.
Well, according to his friends, right around Christmas, he had told them that he was going to go to Canada with Dennis, and they were going to play in a band at a bar.
I'm finally getting to play drums. I get paid for it.
Here's to you, man. Proud of you.
The only thing that I knew about the guy that he was going with was that they were both drummers, and so I'm assuming that that's how they met.
Tim's friends don't know anything about Dennis. They've never even seen him. But one of them does suspect that the two musicians may have shared a secret. And when Tim's skeleton is let out of the closet, it could reveal a motive for murder. Investigators start unraveling the tale of two Tims.
You can't carry a secret like that forever. It's gonna fall apart sooner or later.
I'm getting all these calls from random people saying that I owe them money. I need your help.
Missing musician Tim Wicks from Hales Corners, Wisconsin, has been found decapitated and dismembered. Detectives have been unable to connect him to another man more than 500 miles away with the same name and social security number, who seems to have assumed his identity. Did the two men know each other?
How does the person here know that person and have that person's information?
Tim's friends suspect they may know what the missing connection between these two men is. And if it's true, it's a scandalous secret.
As far as girls go, he's a good-looking guy. Girls like him.
They tell Detective Kent Schoonover that Tim was normally a big hit with the ladies.
As a musician, they probably all get that type of treatment. Girls would hand him their phone number.
But while the ladies loved Tim, it seems Tim rarely loved them back.
I knew him for almost 20 years, and he dated a few girls here and there, but nothing really steady in the whole time that I knew him.
Tim's friends could never understand his seeming disinterest in the women throwing themselves at him. And then when he said he was heading up north with a guy they'd never met named Dennis, it raised some eyebrows.
I kind of questioned that, that he was going with this other fella, and I thought, what is the arrangement going to be where he's going to go live? I thought there might be a possibility that he was possibly gay.
Could this mysterious Dennis, the man nobody has ever seen, be the guy claiming to be Tim Wicks in North Dakota? But that Tim Wicks has a wife, Stacy. Police wonder if the two men were secretly lovers, could he have killed Tim to keep his wife from discovering the truth?
If you don't tell her, I'm gonna make sure she knows what's going on.
You're not gonna tell my wife anything.
Sometimes secrets are innocent, sometimes secrets are terrifying, and sometimes they can end in death.
I thought that there was a possibility that, there might have been something funny going on there.
If this theory about Tim Wicks is true, is he dead because his gay lover feared what would happen to his marriage if their taboo secret went public? So far, it's the only hint of a motive that detectives have.
The main problem that the investigators were facing is that there was zero physical evidence, no fingerprints or evidence on the body, nothing that would help them prove their theory.
Detective Schoonover starts going through all Tim's personal papers, looking for any more information about this mysterious Dennis. And when he pulls out Tim's latest tax return, he hits pay dirt. Dennis's full name is Dennis Gaty. And it seems he's not Tim's lover. He did Tim's taxes.
Do me a favor. Send me a picture of this guy.
A little digging on Dennis pulls up a photo, and the case breaks wide open. This is the man Detective Link has been hunting in North Dakota. Dennis Gaty and the Tim Wicks imposter are the same guy.
When Detective Schoonover looked at it, he knew that Dennis Gaty was living in Fargo, pretending to be Tim Wicks.
Detective Schoonover starts digging into Dennis Gaty's past. and he's troubled by what he finds.
Arrest warrants for escape, arrest warrants for child support, and everything about his life screamed con man and all-around bad guy, no responsibility, always runs away from his problems.
It seems Dennis Gaty had plenty of reasons to want to change his name and hide. And that's when Tim Wicks had the misfortune of meeting him.
Tim was self-employed, and he felt that he needed someone to help him with his taxes. As soon as he met Dennis, they hit it off, and they developed a friendship.
What did you get back last year?
As Tim's tax preparer, Dennis was in the perfect position to rob his identity.
Trust me.
He had access to every piece of information he would have needed to steal his identity. Social security numbers, signatures, addresses. It doesn't get any more perfect than that.
In fact, he's even done it once before.
Through our investigation, we did find out that he had taken the identity of a boy that had died. I believe he was 10 years old. He had stolen that kid's identity and lived under that name for a while until he was caught.
He was the con man of con mans.
But did Dennis Gaty kill Tim Wicks in order to steal his identity? Or is he just a master con man who took advantage of Tim's death?
There are cases where there are con artists that move from place to place and pick up an identity, play a scam, play it out, move on, do it again.
The boy whose identity Dennis previously stole wasn't murdered. Perhaps Dennis Gaty is only guilty of identity theft.
He was trying to cover up that he was a wanted man, and he thought he could just kind of disappear from the face of the earth and change his name.
But if that's true, then who killed Tim Wicks?
The only people left alive who could possibly know the truth are Dennis and his wife. And right now, no one knows where they are.
He was already gone, and there was no chance that he was ever coming back at that point in time.
Finding both him and his wife became a very difficult situation for all involved.
Investigators press on, launching a nationwide search.
They plaster Dennis's face all over until, after weeks, somebody recognizes him.
Hi, I'm calling about a missing person flyer that I found in my neighborhood.
And calls in a tip about his whereabouts.
I believe I've seen him and his wife in my neighborhood.
Police catch up with Dennis and Stacy and bring him in for questioning.
Tim is a great guy. We were really good friends.
The con man says he and Tim were good friends, not lovers.
No, we weren't lovers. I love my wife.
And he hasn't seen him since he left Wisconsin.
I don't know where Tim is. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Someone else must be behind his death.
Dennis tells the police he has no idea where Tim is. He had no idea Tim was dead, and he doesn't know what happened to him.
Guys, I wish I could help you, but...
You were using his identity.
Yes.
Dennis admits that yes, he's been using Tim Wicks's identity. But he has an explanation.
He volunteered to help me out.
They didn't steal Tim's identity. It was all Tim's idea.
I got in some trouble when I was young. I did some stupid stuff.
Tim told him to take his identity. Tim told him to move to North Dakota. Tim told him to start his life over as Tim.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Why would Tim do that?
He'd do anything for a friend.
Dennis says because he told Tim that he couldn't escape his past troubles with the law.
Sorry, man, what do you need? I can help you.
He says Tim knew he was in a tough spot, and Tim was a super nice guy, and he was gonna be in Canada anyway.
Just use my name, man. It's not that big of a deal.
He didn't need his own identity in America, so he let Dennis have it.
Detectives are suspicious of his story.
Dennis, this doesn't add up at all.
Dennis is a storyteller, and he will tell you any and every story other than the one you want to hear.
But they can't prove he's lying, and there's no smoking gun tying him to Tim's murder. Could somebody else be behind this? Detectives desperately need to dig up a witness to the crime. Otherwise, Dennis is going to walk.
We need somebody to turn on him and give us the information we need. And that's likely going to involve a major betrayal.
The last person anyone expects steps forward and reveals Tim Wicks's final moments.
If you have a secret and you're doing something wrong, it's going to blow up in your face.
Investigators working the Tim Wicks murder have finally got their hands on his identity thief. But is Dennis Gaty, the man who stole Tim Wicks's name, also his killer? Police have their suspicions, but that's not enough to charge him with murder.
I've got some circumstantial evidence for the identity theft. But as far as physical evidence goes of what happened to end the life of the real Timothy Wicks, we've got nothing.
There's not enough evidence to charge Dennis Gaty with murder. But there is enough to get him for stealing thousands of dollars from his former boss, as well as Tim's identity. Dennis is sentenced to 4 years behind bars. But detectives still feel they have unfinished business.
I want Dennis charged with killing Tim because it's justice. He deserves to be charged with killing Tim because he did it. And I wasn't getting that justice for Tim.
Years pass. Dennis never confesses, and no new evidence comes to light. And having almost completed his jail sentence for fraud, Dennis Gaty is about to go free. But just when it seems he'll get away with murder, a surprise witness emerges to turn up the heat. Dennis's now ex-wife, Stacy.
We are getting close to the end of the sentence for the fraud-related charges, and she's scared out of her mind.
Why? Because she's been keeping a horrifying secret all these years. And finally, she's ready to spill it.
What happened?
It took years to get this story, but she finally told me everything that happened with Tim and Dennis.
Stacy says that when she married Dennis, he told her he was wanted for crimes he didn't commit.
There's something we need to talk about.
About what?
I'm a wanted man.
Dennis told her that he was on the run from the law in Wisconsin. So that's why he had to use a different identity.
He also told her that his friend Tim Wicks had offered to let him use his identity for cover so that he could move away and start a new life.
Dennis tells her, just go along with it, everything will be okay, no one will ever find out.
He said everything was gonna be fine.
I'll take care of it. I haven't done anything wrong.
I trust you.
And she feels like she has no other options. And she's also, despite everything, still desperately in love with this man.
Stacy says it seemed like everything was going to be fine until the day the real Tim Wicks came back into their lives.
He started getting suspicious.
Tim had suspected somebody was using his credit card because there were some charges on there that weren't something that he knew about.
Tim called Dennis, who had prepared his tax returns, to ask what he should do.
I need your help.
What can I do for you?
I'm getting all these calls right now from people I don't know saying that I owe them money. Some weird accounts that are opened in my name, all these charges I don't know about.
Why don't you let me look into this? I'll get right back to you.
That's when Dennis knew the jig was up.
He's figured it out.
Dennis had to have panicked because he was that person.
Every con he's ever pulled, every scam he's ever done, everything he's gonna unravel.
What are we gonna do now?
Now he's starting to panic. How am I gonna take care of this? How am I gonna deal with this? And then the first thing comes to him is Tim's gotta die.
Stacy says that within minutes, Dennis concocted a story to lure Tim Wicks to their home.
My husband invited him over.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, I've got great news for you.
He creates a story that they had a gig where they could go up into Canada and play at some bar for $800 a week. Tim was all excited.
That sounds great.
Why don't you stop on by? We'll discuss the details.
He knows Tim's gonna fall for this because that's his dream. Tim had no clue that his dream was gonna just turn into a nightmare for him and be the end of his life.
Tim never made it to Canada. Once he arrived at Dennis's place, his fate was sealed. Dennis shot him in cold blood to keep his secret from coming out.
At this point, his wife is freaking out.
What are we gonna do?
There's a dead man on her kitchen floor. And she's desperately in love with this man who is a killer. She does not know what to do.
She's thinking, this is my knight in shining armor. I gotta help him.
Stacy says that after killing Tim, Dennis scattered the body parts and they settled into Gardner, North Dakota to start a new life as the Wickses. But that life quickly fell apart when Dennis embezzled thousands from his new job. And with Dennis soon to become a free man again, Stacy is now afraid he might return to silence the one person who can tie him to Tim's murder.
So angry. I can't do this. You don't even know what you're doing. People are dead.
Her life could be in danger.
Shut up! There are two ways in this life. My way or no way.
That's why she needed to help us out to put Mr. Gaty away so he would never get out again. I think she finally saw the light and said, you know what? She could no longer continue with the lie.
My husband shot Tim Wicks.
Stacy's testimony keeps Dennis behind bars, now convicted of murder and serving a life sentence without the possibility of parole. For Tim Wicks, justice is finally served.
To lose his life the way that he did was just a very incredibly bizarre, tragic ending to a guy's life that certainly didn't deserve what happened to him.
He ended up paying the ultimate sacrifice for someone else's lie and secret and deception. He paid with his life.
Dennis Gaty thought he could change his past simply by changing his identity. But he couldn't change who he really was, a liar, thief, and killer who could never outrun his secrets.
He has so many secrets. I'm not sure that anybody knows the real Dennis Gaty. He has pretended for so long to be different things and different people. I'm not sure Dennis Gaty knows who Dennis Gaty is.
I don't know anybody that could have pulled off what he did. It's gonna unravel sooner or later. He almost got away with it, but he's still rotting in jail for the rest of his life, where he belongs.